G'day guys, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations in Cars with Toyota Australia. Today we are about to pick up Richmond superstar Mon Conti. Let's go. Mon Con!
Can I come in?
Of course you can, please do. Woo, welcome.
Hello, Abby.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thanks for having me here.
Welcome to the Conversation Car with Toyota Australia. Glad to have you on board.
Thank you. Let's have a chat.
Rare day off for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not really a day off, but always got to do recovery. So yeah, it's good to have some time.
We are mid AFLW season. We absolutely love it this time of year when the women are dominating the screens and footy grounds across the country. But how are you finding it so far?
I love when footy starts again. So it's been good. We've had a pretty good start to the season. So yeah, just exciting to get out there after a really long off season. Yeah.
You excel at multiple sports. You're a dual code athlete, of course, a elite basketballer, but how did you find footy in the first place?
Thank you so much for that though. How did I find footy?
Yeah.
I was one of those little kids, like most girls, that were tomboys, so would always just play with the guys in primary school, would always play tiggy, chasey, whatever you call it, and just markers up. So I think I just liked it from that. My brother played, my dad obviously kept me involved in sports, so when I'd go along to his games, I used to just kick to kick with dad on the sideline. He used to just ignore me and watch Nathan's game, but he started to realise I was pretty good at kicking. So then I just joined a local team and loved it ever since I started there. So it was, pretty simple.
What about your journey to the AFLW though? Because basketball's been your jam for a very long period of time.
Yeah.
But were you pumped when the AFLW became a thing? And just run us through your journey and how you got to Western Bulldogs in the first place and then across to Richmond.
Yeah, my journey was quite, I'd say, unique in a way because it was a bit different. I had opportunities to go to America for college basketball. But the year that I came home from a World Cup with the junior Australian team, had some interest from that, and then they decided to throw some offers out there, and it was either that or AFLW because AFLW just started that year. Yeah. So I was either going to go away for 4 years and do college basketball, stay away from mum and her cleaning and cooking, or stay here and pursue potentially WNBL professionally and AFLW, or just go away from home. So I decided to sign a professional contract at 16 basketball-wise, and then footy came into the picture and I couldn't say no.
How do you go about juggling both, though? From an AFLW perspective, it was hard enough juggling one, let alone being elite at a dual sports.
It's so nice to me.
Well, you're a superstar, a genuine superstar, so it's easy.
Juggling's hard, but I never really thought too far ahead in the future because I always think that's a bit scary. I think that puts too much pressure on myself and all that sort of stuff. So I think communication with both codes and listening to my body and understanding where I'm at physically and mentally, and sort of just open communication with all that, and just sort of not think too far ahead because that's a bit scary. So I think I just sort of took it as it came. So sounds simple, but yeah.
Have you seen the growth of AFLW, I guess? As a youngster coming in and still being a part of it, we're hitting season 9 now. It's quite incredible, but how have you seen the growth of the competition throughout your time?
Yeah, I feel like a veteran when you ask those questions.
It makes me feel real old.
Yeah, I feel like I've been around forever, and you were there at the start too, so just to see, I guess from your outside perspective, you'd think the growth is amazing, but even just being inside of it and a part of it, you see the young talent coming through and where they've started to where they are now. They've always had a journey and a pathway and sort of stepping stones to get to where they are. So I think it's really amazing to see the talent and the skill level and these young girls coming in and just thriving straight away. It's really exciting, and it's only going to get better and bigger. So watch out for the older girls out there. But no, it's really exciting to see, and you sort of feel like a proud sister when you see the young girls that, you know, started at 18, get drafted, and then just start thriving in their environment. So, yeah, it's good to see.
Where do you want to see it go? I guess if you're looking 5-10 years in advance, where do you want to see the league?
I want to see it just more professional. It already is, but I want to see trainings all day, every day, like the men.
Yep.
We're almost there. I want to see more money coming in. I want to see more fans. I want to see more people watching our games. I want to see packed out stadiums. I want to see people just coming and investing in the game. It's going to take a while, but in 5 to 10 years, I see that happening.
It is quite remarkable, though, when you think about it. I mean, you look at the men's game for what it is today, and that's 150 years of history. You look at the women's game, 9 seasons in, and where it's positioned. As you said, it is going to take a little bit of time, but to think where it is already after 9 seasons, it blows my mind.
I know. Thinking back to I think it was 7 or 8 games the first year. How many did you play?
So we played 7. So you played everybody once, and then it was just a grand final. There was no full final series. It was just the top 2 sides played off in the grand final.
Do you remember playing me?
Oh, I remember you giving me an absolute bath. No.
I remember, I think it was round 1, and I had to fly from basketball final, we lost, in Adelaide.
Yeah.
To back to Melbourne, pack my bag, come back to Adelaide for round 1.
Yeah.
And I remember playing you, we had a contest somewhere on the wing, I think. And we went at it.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I could just be making up stories in my mind. And I was like, oh, that's Abbey Holmes.
Oh,
I just remember that really vividly.
That was back when my hamstrings still worked. They don't work anymore.
Back in the old days. Do you miss having that really intense sort of pre-season? And even though it is obviously really difficult, do you miss sort of going through all that with your teammates?
I do. I really do. And I miss the competitive side of things. I mean, I'm a competitive beast. You're a competitive beast. I love that aspect of it. And I certainly wish that I had longer. Like, my body told me that it was time to give away.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't able to perform at the level that I expected of myself. So it was sad that I couldn't stick at it for longer. And I wish the AFLW was around when I was a young girl, you know, because of the opportunities that women and young girls have now. It's so exciting, and I wish I had a little bit more time with that. But my body does not miss the pre-seasons and the in-competition stuff. But no, you're always going to miss it, right? And it's such... I know, netball was my background for a long period of time before heading into the footy world. So, but it is certainly something that you miss.
Yeah, for sure.
What challenges would you say you've had to overcome throughout your career so far?
This is always a really difficult one for me, because I feel like I'm usually pretty mentally resilient when it comes to my sporting career. But I think for myself, it would be just dealing with lots of pressure. I think pressure is number 1 for me, and that's external pressure. That's probably most of it's personal pressure.
There's always going to be, as you just said, the internal and external pressure, but when you win a league MVP, right, a league best and fairest, it's heightened, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how did you feel, first and foremost, winning the best player in the competition and being, you know, have that crown, and B, once again, like, handle that pressure? Because every team in the competition is, of course, going to have a plan A, B and C for you when they come up against you.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I had it hard last year with a couple of tags and a bit of attention, but this year it's, like you said, it's heightened so much.
Yeah.
And that's obviously off the back of my season last year, but I think for me to just shift my mindset to, like, as long as we're winning games, as long as we're being successful as a team, and if we're doing that and the load is spread amongst the team, it makes it easier for everybody. And I think, just sort of understanding that, like, I'm going to get that attention, and I'm going to have heightened pressure, but just sort of focus on, like, little things every game instead of trying to focus on the outcome. So, yeah.
Who's been your hardest opponent?
Hardest opponent... I said last year, Shira from Carlton, because she's really athletic and fast, and I think she has a netball background. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But she was really athletic, and the past couple of games I've had a really solid, just like stuck to me physical.
Yeah.
And that was challenging. So honestly, credit to them, they're doing their job well. But yeah, it's been quite challenging. But I'm really fortunate that I've got a really solid midfield that they can start to carry the load if that happens. And they have been, which is really good to see. Yeah.
What's been your proudest moment so far across your AFLW career?
Proudest moment.
And it's okay to say league MVP. I know we don't play for individual awards, but it's pretty bloody good.
Thank you. It's really difficult to put my finger on a proudest moment. Obviously, winning a league MVP is really exciting, and I am proud of that. But just recently, I was given a life membership for Richmond, which I think is really exciting. And I haven't really understood how good that is, but I think that's probably something that's up there at the moment for me, because that's just showing that a club really values me and wants me to be a part of their club forever, I guess now.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty proud of that. But there's too many good moments that happen in a game where you can pinpoint something. Do you have any that stand out to you?
Proudest moment?
Yeah.
Well, I'd have to say the inaugural flag.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
You know, just being a part of history as well, like the first ever premiership side of the AFLW. I'd have to say that would probably be my proudest moment so far.
Yeah, that is a pretty proud moment.
What advice would you give to any youngsters out there, little boys, little girls, who might want to follow in your footsteps? I mean, of course, making it to the AFLW first and foremost, but if there's any dual coders out there that are excelling at multiple sports, what advice would you have for them?
Yeah, that's always a really difficult one, because I feel like every young kid is always on a different journey, a different path, whether they want to be basketballer, footballer, or both. But when it comes down to the sports side of things, I always tell them to find their point of difference, find something that makes them stand out. That's probably one thing I would give. And also, I'm really big on just having fun and enjoying it, because if you don't enjoy it, there's no point doing it. Yeah. So just always going back to why you've started and enjoying it and having fun with it, because at the end of the day, if you're going out there to training and you don't want to be there, or if you're going to a game and you don't really want to play, then there's probably no point wasting your time in that. So making sure you find the enjoyment in everything, because it makes everything much better if you're having fun. So yeah.
How important is your recovery as well?
So important. I've now do recovery every day. Yeah, got to. This old body can't hold up.
Oh my god! Did you just say this old body?
Sometimes I
feel like a grandma.
I feel 50. Recovery every day. And I think if you ask any athlete, they'll probably tell you that recovery's nearly number one.
And do you know what? Like, that would be probably one of the biggest pieces of advice that I would give to elite athletes as youngsters, was looking back for me personally. I wish I prioritised recovery, but I just always thought that I was invincible. My body was always going to feel good.
Yeah.
Whereas now, you know, once I hit 30, my calves were like, hi, I exist. I exist.
It's always the calves when you're 30,
calves.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not quite there yet. But you know what I mean? Like, when you're young, like, you don't stretch. I never did after netball when I was, 18 through kind of 24, I reckon. Because you feel good. You think you'll always feel good, but it does catch up with you. So for me, the recovery piece is just so big.
Yeah. That's you giving me advice.
It really is.
Yeah,
it really is.
Absolutely.
You want to play till you're 40?
Yeah,
do some recovery.
Important.
Yeah. What do you think that women in sport as a whole, like, what challenges do you think that they have to kind of navigate their way through?
Whoa, I could sit here and probably list 100 things.
Okay, hit me with some.
I'll hit you with some, or a couple. I just think the criticism is number one.
Yeah.
I just don't think a lot of people take the time to actually watch women's sports, so they have opinions, and just probably, hearing the criticism of people that don't matter, but also, people that just want to tear us down. I think there's some people out there that probably get a bit offended or something, the fact that women are being successful in sport, which is probably always going to be the case. I don't think we're ever going to overcome that fully, because there's always going to be haters out there, But I think, yeah, number one is probably criticism and people just not taking the time to invest and watch and understand that we're growing, like, as a whole. And it's not every sport. Some sports are doing amazing, like women's soccer.
Yeah.
Women's basketball in America is just taking off as well. But I think that's really credit to some girls that can come in and really impact the sport like that. But, yeah, I think number one, if I could list one, is probably just the criticism that we cop. And you would cop that as well, being a female involved in a male-dominant sport.
Yeah.
You'd cop that. It's not just the players, it's people that are all players that are involved in it.
And I guess when you put yourself in that public arena, like, you open yourself up to criticism. Yeah. And I love the saying, and my mum used to say it to me all the time, but you can be the juiciest, plumpest peach in the supermarket, but not everybody loves peaches.
No, exactly.
Do they? I mean, I love peaches, but not everybody likes peaches.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can get a little furry sometimes on the exterior, you know.
That's so true. And not everyone's going to like the fact that females are good at sport.
Yeah.
And people won't understand.
Who was your idol or one of your biggest role models growing up, and why are they so important?
I've got so many people that I could sit here and announce. I think my mum, like, outside of sport, is really good. Just she's gone through hell and back, but for someone to still be so invested in their family and be so strong-willed and everything like that, I think is really inspiring too. And I don't think I've ever told her that, but I think she's had a really big impact on me. And probably my sister's this is a different sort of question, but my sister has probably driven me as well and inspired me to keep going, because I know that she looks up to me. She'd probably never admit that, but I think just having her there watching me, it's made me really keep going. But do you have anyone?
Oh, I've got so many.
Yeah, right.
The same as you. Like, my mum, my sister, first and foremost, my dad, like, just my family and the things that they've instilled in me from a really young age. You just mentioned your mum and your sister. So from a family perspective, I guess, conversations in cars, right? I've got such fond memories growing up of my mum and dad driving me to sports, but how good are they? Like, do you have fond memories growing up of even just the car rides to and from basketball or whatever it might be?
Oh, and you would probably know this, but, like, with sport when you're younger, there's always somewhere to drive. It's always a long drive, but constant conversations with mum, my sister, and even when I'm driving, even just a phone call while we've got like an hour drive, you can always like reconnect with friends and update them on what's going on, what happened in your day and everything like that. So they are really important, but it's really nice to just have a chat to someone. You can get deep too.
I love my time in my car.
Yeah, my car is my safe space.
And I actually don't, I have moved recently out to the burbs, which is a longer drive, but I actually look forward to it.
Good.
Yeah, it's my time.
Yeah, all the girls are always asking, oh, you live so far away, you're so out of it. And I'm like, yeah, but I actually like the drive. The drive's the best part.
Yeah, totally.
Sometimes I sit in silence, you know? Sometimes.
Oh, dear.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.